All right.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Acoustic Paradiso on Andertons TV. The wonderful Ben Smith is here.
Nice to see you.
And we have just unboxed some new Alvarez guitars.
Yeah.
Called the Artist Elite series. Some of our favourite guitars at Andertons to sit in that sort of mid-price acoustic guitar range. Alvarez make a bunch of guitars from probably £250, £300 up to £600, £700, £800, and these are some of the sort of towards the top of that range.
They're all kind of between 6 and 7, I think, aren't they?
Everything we got here today, 6 and 7, and in no particular order. Ben there is playing this rather beautiful. It's beautiful from the back as well as the front. In fact, if anything, it's more beautiful on the back. You have to learn to play the guitar this way round somehow.
You've got a thing about maple backs, haven't you?
Yeah, it always seems to me like, why put the good stuff on the back?
Yeah.
Anyway, so as you'll see, these are all cutaway electroacoustics. Some of them are grand auditorium sizes, some of them are dreadnoughts, lots of different timbers, and Ben is going to take us through, and we're going to avoid trying to telling you the names of these guitars, because this is my only criticism of Alvarez, really.
What do you mean? You mean that the AGFM80CEAR is not a catchy name?
Catchy. Yeah. Anyway, so what do you have there?
So this is one of the grand auditoriums, as you said. It's got a spruce top, solid spruce top, maple back and sides. It's got this kind of bevel on the top for comfort.
I love that. We'll talk about that in a bit.
It's a nice touch. Power Ferro dual level bridge. This is like one of the things they do to increase the break angle of the string over the saddle, so you get more transference of power to the top and makes it louder and more responsive. It's got a Power Ferro fingerboard as well, a mahogany neck, a very pale mahogany neck, and this LR Bag Stage Pro Element pickup system. They've got a lot of things that have come from the kind of the higher end Yairi range, because this Alvarez started in the 60s with the St. Louis Music Company, and they went into partnership with Katsuo Yairi, which I hope I pronounced correctly, who is a famous Japanese classical guitar builder, and he started designing and making steel strings for them. So things like this bi-level bridge, which is really clever because it means you get a steeper break angle over the saddle, so you get more transference of vibration, makes it louder, more responsive. They do a lot of work on the internal bracing, and they have kind of asymmetrical hand scallop tone bars in there and everything to try and maximize what the guitar will do.
Asymmetrical? I mean, I'm just like, asymmetrical hand scallop tone bars.
Sounds delicious.
Wow, who knew? Yeah, I'll take 2.
Yeah.
So typically when you have a guitar that's a spruce top and a maple back and sides and of that sort of size, what kind of tonally, what are we getting here?
I mean, anything with maple, you're going to think bright top end, and it's got that. It's really loud. I'm really surprised at how loud it is. And that's, hold on, if I turn the volume down there, so it's just acoustic. Turn the volume back up for the amp, but it's got a lot of top end stuff happening. So for finger picking, I mean, it's great, and considering we just took these out the boxes, 3 minutes ago, it's amazingly well set up.
That's great. Now, tell me about the bevel. I don't think any other guitar brand that we do in this price bracket has this kind of bevel feature. It's something that I think of £3,000 Taylor guitars, and not £600 guitars. But and it's obviously just a comfort thing.
It's just a comfort thing. It's, so that when you've got your arm, especially if you're playing for a long time, you don't end up with that kind of mark across your forearm. And I think it came from the kind of hand-built luthier world. Yeah. People like Linda Manzer have used them on very high-end guitars, and it's a comfort thing. It looks cool. Yeah. I don't think it does anything tonally, but
adds extra bevel.
It adds extra bevel to the sound, yeah.
And on the preamp, I mean, obviously we'll do you a close-up of the preamp now. It's the same on all these guitars, but what are the LR Bag's super famous, pickup manufacturer, but what have we got on this particular model?
It uses the Element, which is their undersaddle kind of piezo pickup, and this preamp has got a tuner built in, which is handy, seems to work well, phase switch, bass, middle, treble volume, and a notch filter, which is super useful when you're playing live.
Tell me, what does the notch filter do again?
So a notch filter is basically it's a very narrow but deep cut in the frequency range. So if, for instance, you're playing a show somewhere and you're getting feedback, which happens a lot when you're playing loud acoustic guitars, you can rotate this, which will go from off round to 320 hertz. So if you've got kind of low end feedback, you could just turn that knob until it goes away, and it shouldn't make the guitar sound that much different because it's just taking out the hot frequencies.
And that's that kind of super simple. You don't actually know what you're doing. You just adjust it until the feedback goes away.
Yeah, if it's feeding back, turn the knob till it stops, and then that's easy.
I'm going to get a T-shirt with that. If it's feeding back, just turn the knob till it stops.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, little 20-second more strum on that, and then we'll move on to another one.
Cool. So I'll do some strumming, and I'll do a bit of finger picking, and that's all good fun. So. A huge sounding guitar.
It made me jump that first chord. That's good.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's bone nut, bone saddle.
All the good specs.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
I must admit, I did like the fact that there's like a different finish on the neck, isn't there? So you've got this nice high gloss finish on the body, but then like a more sort of sweaty palm friendly satin finish on the neck.
Yeah, nice. And I know a lot of people take sandpaper to the neck, don't they, to kind of take off the gloss, and you don't need to because it's already done.
So next
up, we'll go for this one.
So what do we have here, Mr. Ben?
Well, it's another Grand Auditorium model. It has got a solid Western red cedar top and really nice Macassar ebony back and sides. Ooh. So it's the same body shape, same neck profile, I think.
That's much more obviously a mahogany neck, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it feels very similar when you pick it up.
Yeah, you can see the grain of cedar is much kind of tighter, isn't it? Much tighter, more sort of stripy than you get on the spruce tops.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, kind of generally speaking, cedar is a bit warmer for the
more mellow. Yeah, takes a bit of the trip. I've never heard a guitar with Macassar ebony back and sides before, so I'm not even sure I know what. It's a very hard wood, isn't it, ebony?
Ebony is, yeah, so it is quite hard.
I wonder if it's like another maple kind of tonal. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question actually. This will be a good way to compare.
Yeah.
But I'll play some stuff and
Please do.
Make your own mind up. So I'm just I'll turn the volume down there so there's no amp in the room.
Me likey.
Yeah, big, lots of bass on it.
Yeah,
lots
it's good. I mean, I think that's a Grand Auditorium thing, isn't it? It's that sort of the bass end comes from the sort of big belly of the guitar, but it's slightly narrower waist, perhaps makes it a little easier to play, or it doesn't feel quite as cumbersome as a Dreadnought.
No, that's it. And you can you've got the cutaway, so you can get right up to the dusty
I like
ends.
the cutaway on these. It's a sort of if you hold the guitar up, it's a flatter cutaway, isn't it? Then it's not like the Florentine sort of big horn that comes up, and I think it looks really nice, and I guess it's practical as well because there's a lot of space to get the arm up there if you need to.
Yeah, if you need to get all the way up there, then you can.
Cool.
Whether you should is another matter.
Whether you should, absolutely. Next, shall we go? Have we used all? No, let's do one more Grand Auditorium.
Yeah.
love that natural vibrato you get on the. It's very cool.
This great.
Very cool.
Yeah, I dropped this one down to D because
Because D is the key of the people.
That's it.
What is this?
This is the last of the grand auditoriums we've got here. This one is black walnut top and back and sides, which is slightly unusual tone wood.
All black walnut. What does the back and sides look like?
It looks nice. I mean, it kind of looks
a bit mahogany-ish.
It does look mahogany-ish, yeah. Maybe slightly different grain pattern, but I think it's filled grain with black filler. But
the binding looks nice on this. It's like a flame maple binding.
Yeah, and I think it's nice on the bevel particularly because it kind of highlights it. But yeah, same deal with a Power Faro bi-level bridge and the bone saddle, bone nut.
I like it, but let's just try it without the amp and let's see. I mean, I think this is an interesting experiment. These are 3 identical shaped guitars but made of different timbers.
Yeah.
And without the guitar amplifier, I'm not hearing as much difference as I kind of my
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Brain is sort of going, I should hear, which is presumably just, I've just been. Everybody makes a huge big deal about how much difference wood makes, and maybe other things are more important.
I think construction and body shape and things like bracing, they've all got the same X bracing with the scalloped tone bars and stuff. So I think that will make a bigger difference. Yeah. So I'll play something and see what you reckon. Sounds good.
Definitely in a different tuning. I heard that. Yeah.
I mean,
they're subtle, aren't they? I think you are right. People do, and probably I will hold my hands up and take that fair share of blame. People in the guitar world talk about tone woods crazy amounts, and I do think it almost gets a disproportionate amount of focus over and above just changing the shape of the guitar.
Yeah.
Or using different bracing, or even just using different strings. I
think that's going to have a bigger effect on the whole. I mean,
these aren't solid back and side guitars, are we?
No,
so
they're laminate.
I think there is an element of sort of going, although the top probably does dictate, the lion's share of the tonal difference a timber can make. The fact that it's laminate back and sides maybe isn't emphasising the difference as much as it might.
That's true, and then particularly when you plug them in, they've all got the same pickup system, so that is a kind of a bit of a leveler.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, nonetheless, I mean, don't want to take away anything from the fact I think it's a very cool looking guitar. Anyway, right, so let's move on to the Dreadnoughts.
Okay.
Ooh, that's very Dreadnoughty.
It really is very Dreadnoughty.
It is a little bit more powerful sounding than the Grand Auditoriums.
I think so. Yeah, it's kind of got more low mids. It sounds like to me. It's still got the bevel though, which is nice. This one's all mahogany.
All mahogany, like the kind of Martin 15 series.
Yeah,
I like it. It's got that sort of golden brown kind of colour to it. I really like it. But it's not just any mahogany top, is it?
Selected African mahogany, no less.
Hey, look at that. I don't know where else you can get mahogany from. Presumably all over the place.
I think, South America probably.
Maybe. So Dreadnought, all mahogany.
Yep.
Still got the bevel,
yep.
which is good. It looks like the bevel is a rosewood or something, or like maybe more of that Macassar ebony. But it's
very possibly.
All the binding on these guitars are sort of. I say all of it. Yeah, all the binding is this quite pretty. Like another use of wood. It's very, very pretty. What else have we got? Same bridge.
Same Power Faro bi-level bridge. It's got Power Faro or Laurel fretboard on these ones. The X-braced, scalloped tone bars. Yeah, I mean it's...
Should we have a little listen with no guitar amp?
Let me turn the amp off. So there we've got the...
My favourite sounding one so far.
I think mine too, actually.
Yeah. I thought I would like one of the more exotic looking ones, but I like that a lot.
It's very It's very balanced. I think it doesn't.
Yeah. Because normally when you put a spruce top on something, it sort of adds the brightness, and the
Yeah.
mahogany sort of adds the mellowness.
Yeah.
And yet, so you sort of think an all mahogany should, again, we're potentially, eliminating all of these preconceptions about wood. You'd think that would be darker sounding than it actually ends up being.
Yeah.
But I like it.
It's surprisingly bright, and I know, and it works well for finger picking as well. Sometimes I find like mahogany tops that I think you need to give them a bit more oomph to make them move. They can be a bit flat, and if you're playing, with your fingers. But actually, this works really nicely with that.
I appreciate we've done 4 videos today, and I've waited till the 4th video to ask you this. So some people will think I've waited a month to ask Ben this, but I really haven't. What is the story with the sparkly fingernails?
I'm putting the show business back into finger picking. No, I have the weakest fingernails in the world.
Right.
And when I started doing a lot of gigs, they would either snap off or wear down to like little nubs. So I started going to the nail bar. And then one day I took my kids and they saw all the colours and went,
so you put like acrylic nails on, do you?
No, it's like the gel stuff. You paint it on and you get UV. It's a little bit of me time down at the nail bar.
I love it.
And so my kids come and pick the colours.
Would you get like a facial at the same time and
mani-pedi?
pedicure?
The whole
lot. I like it. This is the life of a professional guitar player.
Oh man,
it's not all bad.
The glamour.
So can I hear that one drop tuned?
Of course.
I think the more powerful thing.
Turned up or just acoustic?
I don't care. We've done it acoustically, haven't
we? We have.
Yeah. I really like them.
I do. It's really nice. The pickup works well on all of these actually.
Cool. Well, look, we've got 2 more to go. In no particular order. Let's try the next one.
Okay.
Very nice.
All right.
Now, you probably can't see why this is different from this particular angle, but this is an Alvarez Slim Body Dreadnought.
Yeah.
So, pass me a normal depth Dreadnought.
Yeah, it feels fairly considerable, the difference.
And you can hopefully see there that the Slim Body one is marginally slimmer.
Yeah.
And a weird thing happened. Rather than the bass end disappearing necessarily on the thin one in a way that you might think it did, it just sort of went a bit woolly, didn't it? Rather than...
Yeah, I mean, it lost a bit of the bass as well.
Lost a sort of clarity around the bass end.
I mean, I'm not sure, it doesn't say anything on their site about it, but I'm guessing this might be really kind of designed for plugging in and performing with a band where that stuff might be a problem.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if it's just a question of rolling down the bass end on the EQ, maybe compensating a bit. Yeah. Certainly, with slimmer would typically be, the idea would be, when you're standing up, you're playing, with it on a strap, it would just be more comfortable to play. But as you say, always a compromise, isn't there? I guess if you make the body size smaller.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play it, if I turn that down so you can hear it without the amp, see what this sounds like.
It doesn't sound a problem acoustically. It almost seemed to, like the sort of the fluffiness around the bass end only seemed to happen when it was plugged in.
I think it's because it doesn't have that low end stuff in a band situation. It might be easier to fit into the mix somehow.
Yeah.
And we should also say this is all black walnut again. This one, back and sides.
Yeah.
So I mean that will make a slight difference. But I think the
I think it's. I can think of lots of really successful purely electroacoustic guitars that are very narrow and tend to have a slightly boxy tone acoustically. But as you say, put it into a band context and it works really, really well. Maybe just, perhaps we can just have a little fiddle with the EQ, have another play around here and just see if we can sort of, I don't know what it is.
It almost wants...
There we are.
So just had to turn the bass up, which makes sense, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's funny, isn't it? It's not what I sort of, as I said, I sort of thought it almost sounded like we were overloading the bass, but it doesn't. You're right. It just needed more.
I think, I mean, maybe we could tell you what we could try as an experiment. If we take some of the mid-range out instead. I prefer it with more bass, but
I'm only laughing because again, you basically, we could take obviously like 53 different types of timber, even marginal, even changing the shape of the bar and everything, and yet small adjustments to the 3-band EQ making wildly bigger differences to the tone, aren't they?
I mean, in fairness, that shows how good the pickup is, I suppose. But
it is a good pickup,
it's comfortable. Again, like it's got all the same bridge with the same bone
cool,
saddle.
man.
It's good.
Excellent. All right. Well, look. So that again is the Slim Body Dreadnought.
Yep.
And that's it. Last one. Here we go. Right. Last one.
Okay.
Another Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Let's hear it and then we can talk about it.
Sure thing.
I like it.
It's
I
good.
like the two big Dreadnoughts the best, but tell us about, what is
Cool.
that?
Well, it's the cutaway Dreadnought. It's got a spruce top, solid spruce top, Macassar ebony back and sides.
Another one with a pretty back.
Same bridge, power ferro board as well, the same pickup. I really like it. The bevel, the comfort bevel.
The comfort bevel. Let me just compare. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Hang on. All right, that's with a bevel, and I can confirm it was comfortable. I'm not sure. I mean, you kind of like if the crook of your arm is there, you don't really notice it. But if you, you kind of would. I think. I mean, I think it just looks nice.
It does look. I mean, it looks pretty, which helps. I find. So, do you want to hear it? Hang on, I've turned the pickup off. So this is it, completely au naturel with this Neumann. So it does that, but it's kind of. It does that stuff too. It's good.
Do you serenade regularly? Do you just sort of, get the guitar out, play all the good chords, light a candle, dinner's on the table?
I mean, I think when I got together with my wife, she thought that would happen, but actually, I just walk around the house playing scales, practicing Jerry Reed licks, which is much more annoying and less romantic.
Well, so there we are, everybody. A little quick swizz through some of these new Artist Elite models. Do you have a favourite?
I do. I think it's this one.
The first one.
I really like. I like the Grand Auditorium. I like the maple. It's pretty.
That's great.
And it's they're really loud.
Yeah. I mean, I liked this all mahogany Dreadnought, and that one actually. I like the two Dreadnoughts out of the big body Dreadnoughts. But what was your favourite? That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I think I've been. The one thing I have been really impressed by is that out of the box, we tuned them up and played them.
Yeah,
and they've been really good. The setup's really consistent, which is good.
Yeah, they are consistently good. Actually, the Alvarez stuff. A lot of attention to detail. Good brand. Good brand of guitar. I like them. There we are. Links in the description below to take you through to each of these models. And you got any questions, pop them in the comments section or give the guys at the store a call. Anyway, I think that's it, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent stuff. Well, we shall see you on Acoustic Paradiso next week.
See you then.
Bye-bye.